Tonight on Focal Point.
A recent survey showed that nearly 60% of the population in Northern Ireland actually support equal marriage. And this rally today, which is so colourful and so positive, is really about that.
Today we have the celebration of the healthcare. We were able to get the Department of Health to give free healthcare to refugee and asylum seekers.
I think Belfast is a welcoming city. Although we do have our issues, I think on the whole we do welcome visitors, we welcome refugees, we welcome those who wish to set home in our city.
The most important stage in learning is not before. If we can catch the child when their brain development is at its most significant stage, that early intervention is crucial for getting the skills in that will help the child later on.
What do we want? Marriage equality. When do we want it? Now!
Today there's going to be a big march through central Belfast, culminating in a rally in front of Belfast City Hall. Diverse set of speakers. We think there's going to be a very big and diverse crowd. The gay community, of course, the trade union movement out in force, Amnesty International, many of the political parties and other groups, ordinary people as well, gay allies, people who have gay children, gay cousins, gay work colleagues and neighbours, and people who just want to stand up for others in this society to say everyone is equal.
Today is the March for Equality. We're bringing together people from all forms of civic society to make a very clear point that we want to see marriage equality introduced here in Northern Ireland. We don't believe that we continue to be discriminated against, that that's fair, that that's right. We want to see the Assembly take immediate action to address this inequality.
Today the trade union movement is walking in solidarity with the sector organisations, Amnesty International, for the realisation of marriage equality in the North. Marriage equality is an important issue for the trade union movement. We have passed motions at our biannual annual conference. A number of trade union movements have had campaigns on equal marriage for the last number of years. The trade union movement has been working towards equal rights for LGBT communities since the 80s, when during the miners' LGBT supporting the miners' strike in 1984. So over all those years, we have partaken in the Pride marches here in Belfast in the last 25 years, and we're just fighting for equality rights for all.
Congress of Trade Unions played a very key role in the Yes campaign in the Republic of Ireland, and for us it's an issue of equality, no more no less, and we believe that every citizen in Northern Ireland should have the right to marry. We've campaigned for many years for LGBT issues in the workplace to make sure that workers who are lesbian, gay, bisexual or transgendered don't suffer any discrimination at work. So that's our primary concern. But the trade union movement is concerned about equality and solidarity on a much larger scale and wider scale, and that's why we are involved here today.
Equality is a human rights issue. There's nothing more basic a human right than equality. Right there at the top of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 1, it says all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. So nothing could be more about human rights than the issue of being able to have the state recognise your loved one, your relationship, as an official relationship and sanction it with civil marriage. This isn't about churches or what religious groups define as marriage or what they do within their church walls. This is about the state and state recognition of those loving, committed relationships, just as they already do with opposite-sex couples.
I mean, a referendum would have no legal basis, no legal standing. The DUP have already made it clear that they're happy to block any motion that goes forward. There's no guarantee that they would ever listen to the outcome of a referendum. Plus the fact that we don't need a referendum. What's happening here is unlawful. A referendum indicates that there's some form of question to be answered as to whether or not this is right. It is right. What's happening here is unlawful, and it needs to be addressed immediately.
But I know equal marriage is happening, and it's happening much sooner than I thought.
And a lot of us find it frustrating because all we want to show is our dedication and our love to our partners. I believe that everyone has a right to marry whoever they wish, no matter what gender or what sexuality they are. Because love has no bounds, and that is what same-sex marriage means to me.
We think the debate is moving in one direction. The public opinion, the tide of public opinion, I think has already shifted significantly in Northern Ireland. I think most people in Northern Ireland already back marriage equality, and frankly, maybe you're a little bit embarrassed that Northern Ireland is now the only part of the UK and Ireland where this is not a reality for gay couples. But I think we now need more of our politicians to catch up with the people. I hope that next time there is a vote in the Assembly, we'll see it shift to a majority of MLAs voting in favour, and then perhaps the only block will be this petition of concern veto that has been deployed on the last few occasions. The alternative, of course, is for gay people to challenge this discrimination through the courts. We already know that's happening. There's a case due before Belfast High Court in November. Amnesty International fully backs those those legal challenges. If that's the way it has to happen, that's the way it has to happen. But it shouldn't have to be like that. Our MLAs should do their number one job, which is to make sure that everybody in this society is treated as an equal.
Because of the positivity that came out of the Irish referendum campaign. We want our voices heard. We want to play our part.
I think we're living through the LGBT civil rights movement. I've said it many, many times before. People are motivated, particularly our generation, are motivated around this issue. This is the civil rights issue for our generation. People are out in force today, will continue to be out in force, have sent a very clear message through social media and through other campaigns that equal marriage is something that they want to see, and long may that grow.
I'm proud and I'm privileged to have listened to each of the speakers and their courageous stories today. And I'm very proud to be in a committed and loving relationship with a wonderful woman for 22 years.
Well, I hope the message is overwhelmingly positive. What we want to say is marriage equality is an important issue for all the citizens in Northern Ireland. A recent survey showed that nearly 60% of the population in Northern Ireland actually support equal marriage. And this rally today, which is so colourful and so positive, is really about that.
Today is another step forward in the campaign for equal marriage, but we have to learn the lesson from others. We have to go out today and tell our story. We need our friends, our families, our allies, and even those who oppose us to know what it's like to grow up LGBT in Northern Ireland. They need to know what the cost of division actually has been, and they need to be clear on the important part that our community want to play in a new Northern Ireland.
The Northern Ireland Community of Refugee and Asylum Seekers was established in 2002 by NICEM, and we became independent. It is a refugee-led organization, and on the board everybody is refugee and asylum seekers, and we advocate and advise refugee and asylum seekers. We provide